Straight up from one corporate voice to another, and let's put the spotlight then on Nazara Technologies, and in particular on the back of the news that Nodwin Gaming has acquired Ninja Global to really boost their presence in the Turkey and the Middle Eastern region. We're here to discuss that and lots more with Nitish Mittersain, Joint MD and CEO at Nazara Tech. Thanks so much for taking time out. So just walk us through the details of this agreement. What exactly does it bring to the table? Because this comes on the heels of the PublishMe acquisition in the month of October.
Yes, that's right. So Nodwin is, on an expansion spree when it comes to esports globally, especially in emerging markets. And in the recent months, you would have seen, they've done multiple acquisitions, including PublishMe, including the Comic Con IP. They also invested in Freaks for You in Germany, and this recent acquisition of Ninja. So I think they are kind of, putting in the foundation for a global expansion using their expertise that they've established in India. And we are very hopeful that in the coming year, FY25 should see very strong growth on the back of some of these acquisitions that they have done.
If we were to delve into more details, given that your esports revenue trajectory as well is looking strong, there's been a 39% CAGR from FY23 to 25 anticipated, and that's led by Nodwin Gaming. Question is this going to continue? What exactly is going to lead this growth?
Sure. So our esports business is driven by Nodwin and our Sportskeeda business. Both businesses have been on a very good trajectory, with Nodwin growing 20% year on year, but our Sportskeeda business has grown 68% year on year, with 97% EBITDA growth. So we think that going into FY25, both businesses will grow organically as well as through acquisitions, and we are very excited for what the future has for esports in India as well as emerging markets.
What about the outlook then when it comes to the kind of scale efficiencies that you're looking to accrue with the kind of IPs? There has been a gradual improvement in the gaming accessories business. What does this, play out when it comes to your margins, or what does this spell out rather when it comes to your margin picture?
Yeah, we are expecting that going into FY25, our overall esports margins will improve, especially Nodwin Gaming that has been investing aggressively in FY24 on growth. We expect that some of the optimization to take place in FY25 and see upward move in margins. I don't have an exact number right now, but we're very positive that margins will expand in Nodwin and esports in general.
How much of a business going forward do you think will actually come outside India? And how much of that will come from high growth markets, let's say, which are called as emerging markets?
For Nodwin, I think we should see about 30% to come from outside India over a period of, FY25. Sportskeeda already has a large chunk of its revenues that come from the US market. They're the number 5 sports destination now in the US, doing extremely well there. And they also acquired Pro Football Network, which is a US-based sports destination. We also expect them to do multiple acquisitions in the coming months. So I think overall, the blend of revenues coming from outside of India will keep increasing. The Indian market continues to grow though in terms of absolute terms. In terms of emerging markets, I think Middle East, Africa, these are markets that are very exciting, especially for the Nodwin business.
Taking currency risk, let's say if you go to a market like Turkey, ultimately your numbers will be added in the India company and there's a huge currency volatility. I think of Turkey, I think of lira fluctuation.
Correct. It's actually the particular Ninja transaction, right, is more about backend capabilities, and Turkey is a great service center for some of the work that's done in Europe. So if you saw the Freaks for You acquisition, not acquisition, the investment that we made, we expect a lot of that work to be back-ended in Turkey. So I would think of it more as a back-end service development for us, a development center for us, rather than doing a lot of business in Turkey.
Business model. We should have done this conversation earlier, but let's say I'm breaking this conversation for our viewers. Can I say that, look, you are essentially, if I draw a parallel, you're essentially what Sanjeev Bikhchandani is doing in the startup sector. You're picking businesses and in the gaming sector where you think that the potential eventually could be unlocked. So you essentially in Nazara are creating what could be called as a VC funding incubator model. Is it a very simple way of putting it?
You can say it is similar, but there's one large difference. We do not buy businesses with an intent to scale them and sell them in 3 or 5 years, unlike a VC or a PE. Our objective is really to, acquire businesses, scale them up, make them profitable, make them cash generative, and then start redeploying that cash into other organic and inorganic ways. And if you see all the businesses in the past that we've done, Nodwin Gaming, for example, we got in very early. We acquired the company when it was 17 crores of revenue 4 or 5 years back. And, worked together with them to scale it to nearly 500 crores kind of revenue business, and a significantly higher, multiple in terms of valuations. And now that business is doing these acquisitions, right? Similarly, if you see Sportskeeda, we had acquired it at, again, I think about 15 crores of revenue. And it's more than 10 times in the last 3 or 4 years and extremely cash generative. So I think our strategy really is acquire good businesses, acquire good management teams, work with them, scale up, generate cash flow, and keep redeploying that cash flow for long-term compounding.
Nitish, just wanted to understand what is the future of gaming? I mean, we're talking or living the times when virtual reality is clearly a reality. And, we're already talking about text to video conversions. Where do you
Yes.
think gaming is headed next?
I think it's a very exciting time for gaming. With all of this happening, you have Web3 happening, digital assets, which are going to become very important, like NFTs in gaming. You have VR, which has been on the horizon for many, many years, but now that future is here, I would say. I was trying out the Vision Pro recently, and it's a fantastic piece of, technology. You have AI happening, which is going to change the way games are made and also how consumers engage with games. So I think if you put all these technologies that are moving so fast, I think what you see of gaming today versus what you will see 5 years later is going to be completely different experience. And instead of playing a game, you're going to be a character in the game. I think it will be a 360-degree experiential change. We're very excited with what's happening in this space, and it keeps us busy.
The games which in a sense had a chance and a skill debate, the entire card games, the rummy games, poker games, where there is a regulatory hurdle come in. Were you looking
Yes.
at expanding in that space? Have you revisited that plan?
Yeah, all along since our IPO, we've been taking a conservative approach, awaiting clarity on taxation. I think in the last year, you finally got some, I would say, more clarity on what the taxation should be. It may not have been ideal for the industry, but at least that clarity has been emerged. So we are opportunistically looking at, acquisition opportunities in that space, and we may look at expanding because we believe with more clarity and more clear frameworks, that business could expand on a more stable platform.
Okay, virtual reality, digital assets, I'm sure all of that will keep you very busy, and the future of gaming is nothing short of exciting. So thanks very much, Nitish, for filling us in with the details of the acquisition and the road ahead for Nazara Tech.